Welcome to Concussion Talk Podcast. My name is Nick Mercer. This is episode 72. All episodes of Concussion Talk Podcast can be found at concussiontalk.com and on all your podcast sites such as iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play Music, which will soon be YouTube. And I know I sped through that, but if you please go to concussiontalk.com, you will find everywhere you can get the podcast, all the main sites you can get the podcast, and I'm sure other ones as well. My guest today on this podcast, episode 72, is Alexandra Di Persio, who was on last week's episode of Concussion Chats. Alexa was 12 years old when she was diagnosed with her concussion, and now, 6.5 years later, she has entered her second year at the University of Toronto in French and drama. But she's still dealing with post-concussion syndrome. Alexa talks about the challenges that PCS, post-concussion syndrome, has been presented for her, both now as well as during her high school years and earlier. Concussion Talk Podcast is presented by HeadCheck Health. HeadCheck Health bridges the gaps in concussion care through simple, powerful technology. Join organizations like the Canadian Football League, Trek Factory Racing, the Canadian Junior Hockey League, Eastern Washington University, and Volleyball Canada, who rely on HeadCheck Health to improve communication and optimize care. Visit headcheckhealth.com for more. Alexa Di Persio, could you please first of all, thank you so much for doing this, and can you please just tell us, if people listen to the Concussion Chats podcast last week will know your story, but if you haven't, hear your story and just give us a little recap of what you went through.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me. So my story started in 2014 on April 14th. I was in grade 7 and I had just changed schools. And so one day because the school is so close to me, I would go home for lunch with my brother. And then my mom also had the same lunch time, so she would drop us off. And so that day she had to leave a little bit early, so we got dropped off early at the playground. And it had snowed that day, so it was a blacktop recess, which means that all the kids are on the pavement. And so because I was new, I didn't really have that many friends, but I just kind of found some girls that were quiet and nice to me, so I went to them. And then we just started walking on the playground, and then all of a sudden I felt a soccer ball hit me at the back of my head where my neck and my head meet. And then I fell. After that, the two girls that were with me helped me up, and they were like, do you need to go to the office? Should we tell a teacher? And I said, no, it's okay, because I didn't really want to cause any trouble at the new school. So I just stuck it out for the rest of the day. And then in class, I was feeling that I couldn't really concentrate in class. It just wasn't going well. And so I had a test the next day. So I told my mom what happened. And so she wrote me a note saying that I couldn't go. That I couldn't write the test because I wasn't feeling well. And then, so then we got forms from the office, and then my mom took me after school to the walk-in clinic. And so the walk-in clinic doctor did the concussion test, so I would have to walk in a straight line. She checked, she used a pen, checked my eyes, and she said that I had a concussion. So, that's when I was diagnosed.
Yeah. Wow. And I heard from last week you were having to dance. You did a lot of dance, and you tried out for the Frozen on Broadway thing?
Yeah.
Is that in Toronto? Or
Yeah,
did
that was
you?
in Toronto this February, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, and do you still dance or
No,
no?
I had to stop dancing as soon as I got hit. So I just observed, I guess, because I thought I would feel better. So I went to dance a few times a week just to sit and watch um, my friends dance. But then when things didn't get better, they had to sort of change the dance routines to like fill in my spot because there would be an empty spot otherwise for competitions and that. And
Oh,
it really sucked because that year we were going to go to Myrtle Beach for a national competition, which I'd never done before. So I was looking forward to that, but then I didn't go, and I didn't go on an airplane either because that hurt my head.
oh
So I
yeah.
didn't I didn't go cheer them on.
So what did you not participate in dance because the doctor said not to, or because you were feeling physically dizzy or unstable, or
I at first it was the doctors that said like no school and no dance, no physical activities, so just to rest.
okay,
But when they started encouraging me to start, um, I would tell them that I'm just dizzy and it hurts my head a lot. Um, and I mean, with concussions, they can't really, it doesn't show up in any brain scan or any test, I guess. So basically, doctors go off of your symptoms, what they say.
right,
Um,
yes,
so I would tell them that it hurt, but even now they still do um, encourage me to try dancing and try that sort of thing, which is why I went to the audition in Toronto this past February because I just wanted to try.
yeah,
Um,
no, that's the thing
yeah,
that's great. You
I'm
tried.
always trying, but I'm never really succeeding.
Well, succeeding is just a matter of perspective, really. I think trying is the main thing to just I mean, as long as you're trying, then what else can you do with it? Show your best, and this is all you can do really. It's all you can hope for, and it's
Yeah.
all you can expect is just to if you do your best, and that's what it is, and so what other symptoms? Sorry, what other symptoms did you feel? Did you feel that
Um,
with the headache or?
yeah. Constant headache. Um, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Even now, I do have trouble. But at the beginning, it really hurt to put my head down on my pillow,
Oh yeah,
um, just because I was hit somewhere
right in the
where,
back of your neck, kind of.
yeah, neck and head, I guess, but just
Okay,
that spot
sorry.
where I put my head. So that was very uncomfortable for me. And so that was one symptom was the like lack of sleep, I guess, difficulty sleeping. Another was the light sensitivity and sensitivity to noise. So I was I basically stayed in my room and um, with my blinds closed, we got blackout curtains for me.
Yeah,
Um,
I have
so
black curtains myself actually. They're
yeah,
great.
so that blocked out like all the light basically.
Yeah,
Um, so that my room was basically it just seemed like nighttime all the
yeah,
time. Um, so yeah, that's what we did for that, and I would also wear sunglasses outside. Um, I was dizzy. Um, I went through depression, which comes with brain injury and being isolated, which now in times of COVID is actually
yeah,
bringing back those memories, I guess, just because I have to stay inside.
yeah,
So it's like you can't really socialize with anyone. So it kind of brings me back to how I felt when I was 12, 13. But yeah, I think I had like I had a lot of symptoms and I still go through them. They aren't as severe, but like especially headaches, I'd like to say I have like different types of headaches. So like sometimes it'll be a
Okay.
sharp pain on either side of my head. Um, Sometimes it feels like my brain is being squished by a hydraulic press.
Oh
So
yeah. Wow.
yeah, I
That's
feel
intense.
yeah, it just happens sometimes. There's not really a time I can pinpoint it, but it does feel like my brain is being squished at extreme pressure and it just really hurts.
Oh yeah.
And then the third type of headache I have is just kind of a numb feeling. And then I feel like tingling. I try to explain it like two like electrical wires, I guess, like touching and
All right.
sparking. That's what I feel, and I call it
Okay.
twitching.
Yeah.
That's the best way that I can describe it, but I've explained it to doctors and they don't really understand what I'm saying, but that's another um, I've
Do
never
you,
really found anyone who kind of felt that way,
do
but
you have any tricks? I don't. Sorry, I don't get. I don't really get headaches much. But do you have any tricks that you find help you with the headaches?
um,
Or
unfortunately not.
no?
Um, I
Sleep,
I've,
I guess
I've
is.
been to the emergency for headaches, but they just told me to take Tylenol and Advil, and
Yeah.
those don't help.
No.
So, but usually I'll just um, I know it's poor, or like not good to do this, but I usually just try and sleep to not
Yeah.
feel the
Well,
headache.
that's yeah.
Um, that makes it go away, and usually when I wake up, it's lesser. But there's nothing that I quite do. I just try and wait it out the best I can.
Yeah, I know when I was first injured. The thing is, for me, I was injured. I was when I was injured. I was older than you are now. I was 23, so I didn't deal with the adolescent, the teenage years being of concussion. That must be very difficult because I had already been to university and high school, been to university and had like met a lot of like friends that I'll have for the rest of my life and things
Yeah,
like that. So which I know is it was very difficult. But but I also did find loneliness was a major part of it, and found that difficult. And unfortunately, time. I mean, I know it's not just a wait, but like, time does. Time, it does really does get better with time, and that's no difficulty here, not very helpful. But I mean, but you also said that you did try dancing and stuff, and you did try, and you would do other things as well. And I think
yeah,
that's very important. Just keep trying things and see, and then you'll become. And if you can't dance like you used to dance, you can still obviously still move and still did a lot of dance within your tryout there. So you
yeah,
still can still have to move very well. So you try this. If that's not what they don't call dance, what you call dancing,
hmm
just staying, just so I mean, it's all it's all it sounds a little trite and stuff, and but it's perspective is, and it'll change as you're older, and you have live a different life than everyone else. And the thing about being alone is that, or feeling lonely is that I know like you want to be just like everyone else, and like that's the thing, but
yeah,
there really isn't that much that like to be like everyone else is kind of boring, and you don't want to be like everyone else. And if
yeah,
everyone was the same, then that wouldn't be any fun. And you have a unique perspective, and then no, and you're obviously trying very hard to come to terms with your injury and stuff, and then you are. I mean, you're trying just to. Emily and Taya were saying that you've been in that support group for the Concussion Montreal McGill support group for a long time now, and you've been there for a while, and you actually spoke, and you're an active member of that support group and stuff. So, and you're at U of T now, right? You're at U of T
yeah.
doing what are you doing there? Doing drama?
I'm doing
Oh,
a
sorry.
major in drama and a major in French.
Okay, just 1 second again now. So, okay, so you're saying you are currently at U of T doing drama
In French,
and French.
yes. Yeah.
So what do you do for that? Like, what's your routine for for daily classes and all that
Uh,
stuff? You
so most of my classes start around 10 or 11, which is
oh,
nice because
that
last
is
year
nice.
they were 9 a.m., which
Oh, so
was,
this is your second year of classes.
yeah, this is my second year.
Okay.
So it's nice to, I guess, sleep a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, but I do find the online learning super stressful and
Oh yeah.
aggravating.
I was
Yeah,
talking to actually to Adina. If she'll say her name correctly, it's Dutch, but Adina from the U of T concussion U of T group,
okay.
and she's interviewing her sister who had a concussion as well, and said that she found the online learning very difficult because of her eyes. Do you find that like the visual aspect of it to be on a screen all the time?
Yeah, I do. I worked with the adaptive technologist at U of T, and he just pointed out some things that I could do. So like putting the brightness down and taking away the blue light in the picture that's on my screen. My glasses have a blue light filter as well. Also, there, like programs that I could use, which instead of having to read things online, it would read it to me. Um, and also, a big thing for me is printing out the handouts or that kind of thing.
Oh,
Um,
okay, yeah, makes sense.
and on blue paper as well, which is supposed to help with the eyesight. So, yeah, those
So,
are different.
so are your classes? Are there a lot of like that's like YouTube, but some videos that you can just have listen to and not watch?
Unfortunately, with drama, you kind of
Oh
have to
yes, you can watch the routines and stuff.
you have to be there. You have to have your camera on because you're constantly performing with other
All
students
right,
and interacting.
right.
So it's not like other classes where there's hundreds of kids and everyone has their camera off. Dramas like we have
Smaller
15,
class.
yeah,
Small.
we have 15 people in the class, and then
Okay.
so we're constantly talking with each other. And to perform, you really, the aspect of being there, showing your face, facial expressions, it
Yes.
all comes with acting. So, but I really do enjoy it. So, you do what you do for what
Exactly. It's interesting. Yes. And the French is French the same way as French. Do you find that easy to do? You that with there without the camera, or do you have to need the camera to see something that's written on the board or whatever, something written in
yeah.
French or?
The our teacher like would like us, or sorry, our professor would like us to put on our cameras, but it is a bigger class, so
Okay.
you can't see everyone at the same time anyways. And
Okay.
you use your microphone mostly because they're marking your oral mark,
Right. Right.
so to hear your pronunciation and that. So you do constantly have to be at the computer, just to interact. It's not a lecture, where you don't do anything, you just write and listen. It's more of an like an interactive
Oh.
lecture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So unfortunately, I have to be always near the computer, and I
Uh,
can't exactly just step away, from the computer and just listen and write down my notes.
and I'm
But
sorry to go back to this, but you're injured when you're in grade seven. And
yes,
you're with toys also. So and you missed grade seven and grade eight is what I heard from last week. You missed 2 years
yeah, I
of
missed.
middle of well here we'd be junior high, but in Ontario it's different. But
Yeah.
you're in middle school or whatever.
No. So what we have is we have kindergarten to grade 8, and then high school, which is
Okay,
ninth grade to 12th grade, and then
right. But you missed grade seven and grade eight,
I missed the
or
last
grade.
part of grade 7,
Okay,
from April to June.
okay. So not
Yeah.
too long, but
It wasn't a full year, but then grade 8, yes, I missed that whole year. So it was difficult for me to catch up in my classes on
Right.
top of all my symptoms. So it was hard for me to have a social life because I would be constantly trying to learn 2 grades in one.
Right.
So
Okay.
for math and science, those are sort of subjects that you build upon. Each year you learn something new and then continue to use them with
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
things. So that was hard because I was learning, like, if the teacher was talking about one subject, I'd have to learn the previous step to be able to learn what they were teaching.
Okay.
So I'd have to learn like more, I guess,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I struggled with a lot. I went to extra help and all that, but I passed, which is good. But
That's very good. Yeah.
I didn't continue math just because it was too much stress for me. And
Right.
like I tried to continue, I think in grade 12, I tried to continue, but it was just too much. So I just dropped the course and took something else, which
Okay.
in the long run, I guess is better. Um, yeah, so I just stuck to language. So like English and French. And I went to French immersion in elementary school. So
Okay.
the French part was easier for me because I had that background. Um,
Yes.
because it was just core French in
Right.
high school, so it was just kind of like the same sort of thing that I already knew, which
Okay.
which was good, I guess. It was easier to manage than math or science or anything that I
And
had to build upon.
how did you find it with your friends in high school or in grade? Was in grade 9, grade 8,
Yeah,
grade 8? I guess when you're out of school.
I mean it was a bigger school, obviously high school, but
Yeah.
I basically stuck around the same group of people, group of friends. Um, but I I didn't get to do everything that they had to do or they'd have to accommodate me. So if we wanted to go
Okay.
to the movies, I'd have to say like, okay, but it can only be a cartoon kind of Disney movie because otherwise action is too hard
Oh,
on
the
on
okay.
on my brain to process everything. So I don't know, like an action movie, Avengers or any sort of
Yeah.
action movie. So it's like we have to go see a kids movie basically. Or if
Okay.
we wanted to see 3D, I'm like, I can't do that.
No, I'm with 3D is never didn't give me headaches, but maybe feel not. I couldn't really. I didn't. I have double visions from my injury, and I
Okay.
can't see double. Can't really see 3D
Okay.
at all. And I do. Yeah, I know what you mean. It does make you feel. Not say right away for me. It doesn't make me feel dizzy right away or nauseous right away, but I do after. I feel I'm really tired after.
Yeah, definitely. And after, if my friends wanted to go to the mall, which preteens, teenage girls like to
Oh
do,
yes. Oh yes.
the noise of the mall and just the busyness of seeing people walk, like when I came home, I would just go on my bed and like sleep because I
Yeah.
couldn't take it, but I wanted to have fun,
Yeah. Of course.
Um, but yeah, yeah, it was just difficult. Or Canada's Wonderland, which is the
Theme
amusement
park.
park.
Yeah.
I couldn't go on roller coasters. I couldn't. I'm still scared to go ice skating or anything that could put me in danger again. I just
Oh
I'm really scared to do anything.
yeah.
Um, and also like mostly because
But
I can't go.
you're not scared to dance or to act or sing and put yourself out there. At
No,
least.
I'm just scared of something that could potentially hurt me. Like
Yes.
like the fast drop in roller coasters or falling on the ice, hitting my head,
Oh
or
yes, yes.
like just these fears of me having to go through it again. I just don't want to do that. So, and I eliminate, like, I completely say, like, no to that kind of thing. Also because I know that my head will hurt after
Mm-hmm.
um, going anywhere where it's busy and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, but you're obviously you're still being very active in your. So you have on Instagram. You have a singing account, and
Yes.
so is that what do you do? Do you sing for drama class at all, or do you have to just or is it something you do on your own?
It's just something I do on my own. I've always, like, ever since I was little, I just kind of liked to sing. So I've just kind of been, I didn't take any lessons or anything. I just kind of, see, even with acting, I just see people on screen and then I try and imitate how their voice works and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So, and
So,
I do like performing. So my singing account, I guess I just when I'm anxious or feeling upset and I'm well enough to do something, I decide to learn a song, and so I'll have the lyrics um, behind my screen or on my screen, sorry. So I'll read those because I forget
okay.
lyrics
Nice.
often. So
What's your favorite song to sing?
oh, I have no idea. I couldn't pick one. No.
Well, you're
Uh,
just to sing though. Your best song to sing.
I have no idea.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not I mean to really. It's not a test. I don't want to go there.
Okay.
It's just trying to. I don't. I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't know it anyway. So
Okay.
I mean, but did you have any questions for me about brain injury and how the symptoms will affect you? Or I know you're anxious about your future and about how life is going to turn
Yeah.
out. But I mean, I really think you're doing everything. Okay, you're trying to learn more. You're trying to. You're being getting involved with your support groups, and you're trying to learn, and you're just trying new things. And I think that's the key. I mean, I know although I was injured for longer and later, and I guess it was technically more severe, but whatever. But that's relative. Um, but just it's the same emotions that you've felt. I've experienced myself, and just these feeling lonely and feeling like, oh, I wish I could do this and I can't do that. But you'll I found more not recent necessarily recently, but as the time went on, I felt that it was more that I was just you have a unique perspective on life, on everything you do, and everything that happens, and it's just a lot more valuable than things you think you missed on, but you realize that you didn't really miss on them. You just experience them differently. It's not. You
Yeah.
don't want to. It's not necessarily you're not going to experience them the same way as you did before because you're not the same person you were before injury. I mean,
Yeah.
for injury and for the time that you were obviously you were 11, 12 years old when you were before injury. Now you're 19. Is it
Yeah.
19? You're
Yeah.
19 now, so you're obviously a different person, and also with your unique perspective on the world and the way the world works and the way your body works, and you seem to have been more self-aware about what you're experiencing and how you can adapt and what you have that you must do things differently than everyone else, and that's great. It's not a weakness, it's not a problem. It's just different for you than it is for everybody else, and I mean, I think that's great that you're aware of all these things, and it's not
Yeah.
cheap participating in these groups. I think that's I think you're doing a great thing.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm trying to come to terms with it, and I'm trying to just move on, but it's hard when you still have the symptoms and you still have
Yeah,
everything. Um, but yeah, I'm trying my best to stay positive. Yeah.
yeah, that's important as staying positive. I mean, obviously, it's still gonna be you're still not gonna because I mean, you're still not gonna you're still in that age. You're still not gonna be happy about all this stuff, and And if you're experiencing symptoms, it's going to be hard. And that's, I mean, nothing you can say that's not going to make it hard. Not these compression headaches you're feeling. It's going to hurt. It's going to, I mean, they said it is what it is. I mean, it's going to hurt, but I mean, you are you're doing great. I think you're trying to go to university. You're trying new things. You're trying to keep singing and dancing and speaking French
Yeah.
and maybe if you guys just speak French, maybe that will improve your Italian. You
Yeah.
get to be.
Yeah.
It's all similar.
Yeah.
Latin languages, so you never know.
I was actually supposed to go to Italy for a course, but then it got
Oh yeah.
canceled due to COVID. Uh, but yeah.
When the summer or
Yeah, it was supposed to be in May. Um, yeah.
well, that would have been fun though. Do you know
Yeah.
where your family's from in Italy?
Yeah, my dad's side is from Abruzzo and my mom's side's from Molise, so they're close.
But you were born in Toronto.
Yeah, I was born in Oakville, but yeah.
Oh, go. Yeah. Which is a suburb of Toronto for anyone who's not listening. It's not from Toronto or from Canada for that matter. But yeah.
Yeah.
And is there any questions for me about anything, or do you?
Um,
I don't want to put you in a spot now. If you don't, that's no problems.
yeah. No, I don't think that I have any questions.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this podcast. It's great to talk to somebody who's still blowing. Not I said as I did last week too. It's not great to talk to. Not that you've had. It's not great that you've had an injury, but I mean, since you've had injuries, nice to talk to someone who's willing to discuss their symptoms and their injury and how they're feeling, their emotions. Is very important. I think that you can talk about what you're feeling and that you're still going to the support group for the McGill
Yeah.
support group and yeah, and talking to people and talking and being aware of your injuries and your symptoms and any challenges that you face now because of this. So I would thank you so much and is there any people to find you on maybe your singing account or anything on Instagram
Oh, yeah. My
or if you don't want to then you don't have to but I do would
yeah,
like them to.
my Instagram is just my name, so Alexandra Di Persio, and
Can
then
you
my
spell
singing,
that for so Alexandra
yeah,
and
A
DIP.
Ersio,
There you go.
my last name, yeah. And
I'll put
so
that in the show notes spell, but yeah.
okay, yeah, and I also have a YouTube. I'm trying to sing, start a singing channel on YouTube as well. So that's just my name as well. If you look up my name in YouTube. Uh, but yeah,
I'll put both these. I'll put the YouTube and the Instagram on the show notes I do for this, and I'll
okay,
post this on Tuesday.
all
And
right.
I will. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and thank you, Alexandra,
Thank you
and
for
thank you for listening, everyone. And I hope you were able to decipher what I was saying because it was very mumbled and jumbled. But thank you so much for listening. As always, music at the beginning of this podcast is by Ben Sound. www.bensound.com.